Good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever else there is. Afternoon, morning, evening, night, wherever you are in the world. I'm Steve Hay. Welcome to Woodworking Masterclass, where I'm continuing on with what I did yesterday in the stream, which was making this. And what it actually is, it's going to be the neck of a harp and part of the pillar, and I'm calling it a Harlequin Harp. I had this idea, I don't know, a couple of streams ago, and it just gnawed away at me. So yesterday I thought, no, that's it, I'm going to do it. And this morning I woke up, and I'll be very, very honest with you, and thought, what did I start that for? I've got to do it all again today. So I thought, well, best I get down the shop, get into it, and started happening. So got half a coffee there, I've got junk everywhere. Welcome to the chaos, and we will get into it. Before I do that, I'm just looking for my phone, if I've got it, because then I can check the chat, which, oh, don't tell me I left it up in the the metalworking shed. Bear with me, I'll be back in a couple of seconds, and then I can talk. So play I Spy or something like that. Hang on, I'm not going to promise you I'm going to run up, but I will get up there quickly. Whoop. Oh, the joy of having workshops. Good, but hey. Hello, girls. Oh, who left the door open? Hey, chooks, when you do useful things, go lay an egg. Oh, go on, get out the way. Your workshop's outside, go on, this is mine. Go on. All right. Well, that was a bit longer than expected because my phone wasn't what I thought it was. So I had to go up to the house and grab a tablet, which I bet you I'll find the phone here now. Anyway, I'm back. Let me see if I can get the chat up, and we can be into it. Connect to internet. You're offline. I'm not offline. Just hurry up. I'm busy. Oh, now I'm on. Okay, that's me there. My channel. And there I am live. And if I learned anything yesterday, I can... There we are. It's on. It's happening. Louise, how are you? Derek, Happy New Year, mate. Yeah, Louise, I'm happy with this. I think it's absolutely lovely colour combination. Somebody asked me, how do I dye my veneers? And I said, I've got a really good friend that does it for me. I was thinking that whatever you're making for Andrew, if you want some decent timber, come round and pick some out of the shed. Because it's got to be easier to work than bricklaw, I tell you. All right. So, what I did yesterday was this, which will translate to this, but now I've got to do the reverse on the other side. And that's that one there, and then on that side, you can see I've drawn that shape. So first things first, I've got to take this off here. I'm just wondering which way to do this. I think I'll just peel it off. Okay, what I use is contact paper, stuff you clean cover books with, and the side you're looking at is the side that is going to be uppermost on the job. If I can get this off without wrecking it. It really is quite nice because now you can see it's in a solid sheet. That possibly would do. That would do, and I could then glue that down. But what it means is I have to peel this contact off the back, which on some jobs, yeah, not so bad. On a job like this, yeah, not so good. So I will show you a way, not the only way, but it's the way I do it. And it almost, I won't say 100%, but I'll say 99.9% guarantee you aren't going to break the job when you're actually putting it onto the final resting place for it. Just see how much room I've got here. That's not too bad. Got a little bit hanging over there, but I'm not worried about that. So what I'm going to do now is glue paper to the top of this. So newspaper on the top, and then when that's dry, I can then peel this off the bottom and I won't break any of the design. So what I've got here is it's a pretty old ratty, disgusting roll of newsprint paper, but it will do the job for what I want. So I've just got to take off the right amount. It's going to be pretty close to that, I reckon, so I'll just whip that there. Make sure this covers all of it, which it does nicely. And look, I don't know, you could use a very, very weakened mix of PVA glue. They don't recommend you put more than 10% water in it, but for this particular job, I would water it down significantly. I'm going to use hide glue because I love using hide glue. But the advantage of hide glue, for me anyway, is that it dries, crystallises, dries hard, it's brittle. Whereas PVA, it's cross-polymer link PVA glue, and it's got stretch, and even when it's dry, it's still soft. Hide glue, no. The other thing I like about hide glue, it does act as a gap filler. If, and I don't believe I have, if I had any gaps, or there's a couple there, but that doesn't matter, they'll get covered. If I've got any fine gaps, it does the same job as a sand sealer, and it'll fill those gaps up. So when you actually come to put your polish or your finish or whatever it is you're putting on, at the end, you don't get that look where the finish is sunk down between the two bits of timber. All right, so I've got to be pretty quick with this. I use hide glue just in a double boiler pot. And if I can find something to put that on so I don't spill it, which will be really, really good. Here we go. I'll need that in a minute. Right. So this is hide glue. Just brush it on. And it sands off lovely. It really does. And if perchance there was any weak joints, this glue will go down there and fill those joints up. So I'll tell you what, looking at the colour of that, it's a nice looking colour. And that's the colour it'll have when it's finally polished. Now, get the paper, plonk it down onto that, make sure I've got it all covered pretty well. Which I have. Now the only thing I didn't do that I want to do is I just want to see how far down I went. It's all right, there's something just going on in my brain I'm just trying to figure out. Okay, that will do me. All right, you can see that's starting to curl, which we don't really want. So I'm going to put that between a couple of platens. Got a little bit of hangover, but that's okay because I'm going to lose that when I cut it to the actual size. Get a cover one. And there we go. So I'll just go over and put some weight on this. Doesn't matter what it is. In fact, I think I'll put the garbage bin on it. Oh, dear. There we go. That will hold it. And by this afternoon, let it be dry and it will be nice and flat. Okay. What would we do without coffee? I keep on saying, oh, I'm going to tidy the workshop up. It never happens. I worked out why, because I'm busy. All right. Who else we coming? G'day, Jared. How are you? Good to have you in the shop, as usual. What have we got? Louise Brigalow is a bugger to work with, but I like the colour. H&T Gordon Plains works beautifully. It certainly does. The reason for that is because it's got an elevated blade and it doesn't get choked. I think it's a 60 degree angle as opposed to a 50 degree. And yeah, I'll pass that on to Terry. I was talking to him just before Christmas. He is good. Hoping to catch up with him soon. All right, so this is the side that I've already done. And I've taken that off. So now if you look at that, that's the end of the harp. So we turned it over, there's the end there. So this is the other side. Same. Get some contact paper. Put it about, oh dear. Put it about there and there and we'll just cut around that. Not much of this stuff that I'm doing I've actually read about in books. A lot of it is just stuff that I've come up with through trial and error, and it works pretty well. So there's a lesson in that too. Just keep on thinking and doing things, and if they work, continue to do them, and if they don't work, well, do something else. Okay, here we go. Take that, put that there. And it's good to have that drawing under there because then you know where you're going. And then I just staple that in place. Where's my staple gun? Oh, I run out of bullets, hang on. Some more in. Oh, too many. There we go. Hang on, what's going on here? Oh, got a bent one in there. There we go. Right. Now, peel this off. The difference between streaming and doing videos, I guess. Streaming, it's real time, and you got to put up with this stuff. There we go. There you go. So now I can lay the triangles we're about to cut onto that. Why couldn't I get that picture yesterday? There you go. All right. G'day Vince and Brenda. G'day Brenda. Oh, getting the whole crew together. Where's Theo? Theo, I was talking to him the other day. He's got himself a 3D printer and he's immersing himself in the wonderful world of 3D. I said, mate, you're all telling you've been dealing in 3D nearly all your life. But anyway, what would I know? What would I know? Now, this mark here, I've got to roughly position this, and this is where I'm going to start with a row of purples. If I put those there, if they fall on my leg, it's going to hurt. Oh, look at that. Hey, I told you I'd find it. It's on the bench. Anyway, doesn't matter. Well, I might go back to that if I can. Actually, what I'll do is I'll put on aeroplane mode. Okay. Now I'll just see if I can get YouTube on there in whatever aeroplane mode, and we will see. If not, doesn't matter. I've got my tablet and it's all good. Okay. Don't worry about that for a while. Let's turn that over. There gives me, by turning that over, it's given me a new cutting surface so I don't fall into the same trench that I dug yesterday. Yeah, I found my part. I was talking about, when we were talking about concentrating, Michael said his grandfather, when you could hear him breathe through his nose, he was concentrating. That helps me concentrate. No, I'm not interested in that, so we'll turn that back off. Now, here we go. No, it's not. Where are those ones that I glued up yesterday? It's going to be a very short stream. Oh no, there they are. Okay, these we glued up yesterday, and they're just strips. Now the trick to getting a really nice diamond pattern is you cut one strip at 60 degrees and then the other strip is straight. So I don't know if you can see, but these lines, you can see the grain is going straight in one way and 60 degrees at another. And then what you do is you peel them off and cut them again at 60 degrees, and that then will give you a nice diamond pattern. Oh, we didn't need all three of, oh, don't like that. Don't like that at all. I've got a big gap appearing there, which isn't going to be good at all. So we might see how far we need to go with that. We might dodge a bullet, we might not. Don't know. So now I just peel this off of here, like this. And it's a good thing I like about contact. It's not super sticky, so you can manipulate it somewhat. And it doesn't leave any residue. That's what I'll do. I'll take that second one off too. And then we can get a good run. And I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we might be able to get away with it actually. We'll see. this backboard I've got is MDF, and obviously over time it's absorbed some water and created a bit of a dip in the board. Okay. Oh, I don't know. But I'm just looking at that. No, I don't think that's too bad actually. So we'll leave that for the last one. Okie dokie. Let us go. What are we up to? Oh, I missed this bit yesterday. Didn't see what was on the backing board. Well, that's possibly because I didn't show it, Vince. Good timing. Mrs. went to the shop. Oh, well, I don't know if I'll be streaming for that long, Vince. All right. So now we've got to cut at 60 degrees. And I've got to make sure I get the right cut. Because if I cut it the wrong way, then nothing's going to line up. Oh, I don't like that at all. Oh, I thought only one time. All right. So I said yesterday I love streaming because it means I can talk to myself and no one thinks I'm nuts. Well, they might, I don't know. Okay. We might bring that up there. That's there. Get the kniff. And here we go. What the? Oh, glue. Normally I'd sharpen the knife before I started, but I forgot. There we go. That's one. The other one. If I cut them all now, ooh. Now that was interesting. Oh dear. Now I said when you cut it the wrong way, that's the way I cut it yesterday, this is the way I cut it this way, and it's going to throw everything out. So I'm going to have to recut. Oh, it did too. So early in the morning and so many mistakes. Ah, well. These things happen. I'm going to put that over there, and if I need to, I'll use it again. But if I don't, I won't. And yesterday I mentioned cutting on the back side. So this area here with the pencils on it, that's going to get glued down. That's the side I'm cutting from. And the reason is I get a much tighter fit with the diamonds than if I cut the other way. It's got to do with the thickness and geometry of the knife blade. So that one we will use last. This one we will use first. It's a good practice if you're going to do this and you're prepared, cut everything up all the same at once. That way you don't run into that problem I just ran into, and everything's good. But there's been 12 hours between what I did yesterday and now, and things can get a little bit foggy. They can get a little bit foggy. Believe me, there's nothing more disappointing than going to all this trouble, and then when you look at the finished article, you've orientated some of the grain the wrong way. What I'm going to do in a moment is, in fact I think I'll do it now, I'm just going to pop over that bit that I glued up, and I'm just going to double check that we got the grain and everything happening the right way. That way there won't be any nasty surprises down the track. And I did such a good job on that. I don't know if I can get it off now. Here we go. There we go. I'll put it back in a minute. Excuse me. Okay. See, that paper's just stuck to that. And now I can have a look. And that's going the right way. Yep, happy with that. So what happens when I'm getting ready to actually fit this, I peel this contact off the back, glue it down, leave this paper on, and then I can just this paper off. Because the hide glue that I use is water soluble, it'll just melt the glue and then it's nice and flat and wonderful. While I've got this off, I might just do put the first one in so it lines up with what I've got there, and we will see how we're looking. So this one here I was going to put that one there, and I think that should line up pretty darn close to what I've got there. Yeah. All right, so I'll just flatten this one down again, and we can get back into it. Now let's go there and there. And what have we got on? Oh, okay. We're back there. Now, if you watched the other day, I didn't have the right length for the green, so I've had to do joins in there. And see if we can get a focus on that. There you go. Where the joins are, you can see it. That really isn't an issue, because what you do when you lay that one down, you cut that one out, throw it away and put a good one in, which we will be doing as we go. Doing the reverse size is always a challenge, because your brain is used to looking at something in a certain aspect, and when you reverse it, it just doesn't look right. But again, you got to trust yourself, have faith you're doing the right thing, and move forward. Purple one at the end sort of come away, but we might be okay, we'll see. Sharp knife is the trick. And to sharpen it, I've thrown that bit away, haven't I? I just use a little bit of 800 wet and dry carborundum, and just give it a couple of licks either side, just gently. And I also do the tip, because that's the part that cuts. So if it's not sharp up here, it's only cutting down below, whereas if sharp up here, I find you get a much nicer cut. Not a lot of pressure on the knife. Basically, it's the weight of the knife that's doing the cutting. And these ones here, I'm cutting, they're just going to be basically spare diamonds if I need any. The ruler I'm using is just a straight edge I made out of nice piece of sandalwood, but the main trick with it is I've got a brass edge there and then 240 grit wet and dry on the back so it doesn't slip. And the brass edge having lead in it, it allows the knife to glide quite nicely. Put that bit over there. Okay. That one just broke. But if something like that happens where that diamond just came from together, don't stress about it. Just, oh well, move on, keep going. Because if you stop and lament something that goes wrong every time something goes wrong, you spend more time lamenting than you will actually do at woodworker. Believe me, it's the truth. Now this one is going to have to be a little bit more precise, only because the one I did yesterday, it's going to have the majority of the middle of it taken out when I put in the brass plate that holds the tuning forks and bridge pins. It does have a little bit of brass on it, but it's about half the size of what's on the front that I did yesterday. But no matter, you should strive to get it right all the time anyway. Okay, I'll just cut this one and then we'll start piecing it together. And I might get a couple of spare ones out of that, so I'll just cut this one here as well. I mean, it does take a long time. If you're going to do this for a living, you got to factor that cost in and be prepared for people to say, but it's so small, why does it cost so much? Because I've only got one life, it's my life and it's valuable, and I've got to charge people that want to use it up. There you go. That's how I justify wages. Oh, all right. So a pile of those, got that, there was a problem. Are we still streaming? Yep, that's what's gone wrong here. Ba-da-da-dum. There you go, I'm back. All right. Vince. G'day, Trevor. How are you, mate? I like that one Gary put up today. I forgot what it was, but gee, it gave me a laugh. Oh, there was one with a wrecked car. Yeah, waiting for his wife to get ready. I thought also waiting for the price of fuel to go down. But anyway, it was just something I saw on Facebook. Trevor knows what I'm talking about. Vince, are you holding the blade on a slight angle to compensate for the blade being sharpened on both? No, I don't know. I don't think. No, I think I was going straight down. If I'm doing marquetry, this is Parquetry, by the way. Parquetry's metric designs, marquetry's pictures. So the bed that I'm doing is Marquetry, but the design I'm doing is Parquetry. In Marquetry, I do slightly have my blade, depending if I'm cutting from the back or the front, but on a slight angle, so it'll fit nicely into what I'm cutting. If I'm cutting from the top down, I have it, yeah, so it's leaning a bit to my left, so it's undercutting. And if I'm cutting from the bottom up, I do the same thing. So it does have a lean. In fact, when I do double bevel marquetry on the scroll saw, which we will be doing a little bit later on, not today, down the track, I think my table's tilted at 13 degrees. And what that does, it gives me a perfect fit for 0.7mm veneer, that when I put it together, you hold it up to the light and you will not see a gap. Whereas using a knife, you generally see a bit of a gap. Oakley dokley. Now this is all fun for me because it's all backwards. Coffee, that's what I need. Give unto me a drinksy. Andy was talking about sitting down yesterday. I sort of wish I could sit down and do this, but I don't think I will. The glue I'm using is Tight Bond Tight Bond Original. The luthiers prefer this glue, and I think it's very good because I was told by people that know at Tight Bond that you don't get creep, and I've been using this for a few years now, and you're right, I don't get creep. The other thing is that I like about this particularly is drying time. Goes off in a matter of minutes, which sometimes is not desirable, but when you're doing something like this, it is. I would use hide glue, but hide glue for doing this gets very messy and the glue doesn't go off as quick. The amount of glue I use to put these together is minuscule, so it's not really a problem with the job. And this is how I do it. I just put a generous splodge there. It's a generous splodge. Look it up, I'm sure it's a word. And then I start. Give me a full length one. Here we go. Whoops. And if you can pick the way you want to do it, glue it up the same way each time. So in this orientation, because I'm a lefty, I've got the downside facing up, that's the side with the pencil marks on it, facing up, and then I just run it through like that, and then lay it down. So I want to get that pretty, actually I could come up here and do that, couldn't I? Yeah, baby. So find the pencil mark. I want to get a long one. Pointing up. Run it along there, and that gives me a nice fine bead of glue. And realise you've done it the wrong way. Yeah, good on you. What have I done here? Nothing. There you go. All right. Now, that doesn't look good there. Oh, no. I'm going to cut that one off in a little bit. Once you get way down, you're right. Just lining the first couple up's a bit of a palaver. There you go. Now that one there I don't want. That I don't want. 2 of those. So I'm going to take that one out. Actually, that one is not quite right there, but I've got a plate that's going in there, the brass cast that I have for my emblem, so that's how that will go. Now find, find that one. I've got another one down here, and I know I've got it because I dropped it on the floor last night. Where did it land? Ooh. So I'll surface in a minute. I'm looking for another veneer hammer. Oh, I've got 3 of them. One I can't find and 2 on. Oh, here we go. Then with the veneer hammer, put it down, and that is pretty good. Okay, move on to the next one. Whoops. All right, I'll take that purple off there. And put there. There we go. It has started. Okay, I'm rethinking that gluing strategy I just told you, because on the last one, what I was doing was having the downs up and running the glue along, and I thought, well, that's what I've got to do this time. It's just occurred to me after 1, 2, 3, 5 lays that no, it's not going to work because I'm actually on the other side. So I now have the face side up, and it's laying down a lot nicer. It was quiet for you yesterday, wasn't it, Trevor? I thought she went out shopping. Okay, now that's got a join in it, but if I put that one there, I think we'd be okay with that too. Here you go, we just slide that along. Just fractionally. Oh, these little short ones that I've got. That might fit in there nicely. They never go astray, even if you just get single ones. You'll find you'll need a single one somewhere. That's starting starting to go together like a big jigsaw puzzle. Okay. That one's got a join in it. Right there. But, I'm fairly certain that that will get covered up. Yep. That will get covered up, so that's all right. We can leave that one where it is. I do them for my own amusement, Trev. Tell you what, either the funniest thing, I love it when I wake myself up snoring. I just roar with laughter. I think it's the funniest thing. Here we go. Now that can go in there like that. There we go. Plonk that one in there. As I said when I first started doing this, I've got no idea how I'm actually going to put this all together. I'm starting to get a bit of an inkling, but still not totally convinced of the idea. Oh, the problem I have, as I mentioned yesterday, I want to put cock beading on it, which traditionally they put on drawers. And what it is, I don't think I've got a drawer down here, but it's, you've got a drawer front and then you've got a very, very, very fine piece of timber going around the border of the drawer. And the reason for it is if you had, especially in Victorian times and Georgian times when they were using a lot of flame mahogany, that would be a veneer. And if you didn't have that cock beading, the corners of the drawer could get knocked and it would chip the veneer off, so as to protect the beading, the veneer. So what I want to do with this one is I've got to have the parquetry all down that side, and then this morning, no, it was last night, I was having a shower. I thought what I'm going to do for the top is lay veneer there, have 3 diamonds made up of smaller diamonds going along the top of the neck, and where this bit of veneer here meets this, I want to run beading all the way around. So how I would do it, normally you get a rebate round a bit and you just rebate all the way around and then lay your solid timber in there and then put a profile on that. The challenge I have with this is, and I don't know if it's going to happen, but when I put the router bit around there, because this timber's at different angles, I'm going to get a lot of chip out and I won't get a nice clean cut. One thing I'm thinking of is getting a perflate cutter and do purfling around it to cut the veneer, then put the router bit in. That would work, which means I'm going to have to make a purfling cutter, which I guess I can do, or I'll order one online, one or the other. The other one was I could put a core box bit through it and then put a round edge on it. So I don't know. That's where I am at the moment. It's tinkering in my mind. How do you do your marks so you know where the pattern stops and starts and adjusts the pieces? Well, what I've done, weren't you paying attention, Vince? What I've done is on the board, I've actually drawn the shape that I want to do, and then I've put contact, stage contact over the top. So I actually am putting the design on the contact, but I can see the template, and the template is about 10 mil oversize, so I know I've got, you know, room to move if I'm a bit short or a bit long or whatever, and I should be pretty right. So I hope that explains that, Vince. Louise, do you water down high glue end grain? As in water it down first, let then dry. Sizing, look, you should, but the question was, do I? And the answer is no. So, no I don't, but yes you should. But, you know, if it's not too thick, the consistency I have mine is about the same as a good enamel paint. And it seems to work pretty good. Check it once you've sized it. If it needs another coat, give it another coat. And the thing I like about sizing with high glue is when you put the next coat on, it actually melts the coat beneath. Whereas if you size using the PVA, it bonds to it, but it doesn't incorporate as well as high glue. High glue, put a bit of heat, it just melts again and it'll accept the next layer. What I have done in the past is sized with high glue and then use PVA over the top. That seems to work okay too. Now, that one's another good one because it's got a join right in the middle for diddle. I don't want it. This one looks all right. Here we go. So a great interview the other day on, I think it was on YouTube. And it was the lady that played the harp on the Beatles song She's Leaving Home on the Sgt. Pepper's album. And she got a phone call. And whoever it was that organises her job said, can you do a job from 9:30 till midnight at Abbey Road Studio? And she sort of, oh, I don't really want to because it's late at night and I've got work the next day. But she said this guy had got me a lot of work, so I sort of, oh yeah, okay, I'll do it. And she said she was sitting in the studio just tuning her harp, and then she heard this Liverpudlian voice, Liverpool voice, next to her, put a sheet of music into a music stand and said, can you follow the dots? And it was Paul McCartney. And it was really good. They couldn't get the sound wanted. And eventually they actually used the first track that she played. They fiddled with it the sound engineer fiddled with it to get the sound that Paul McCartney wanted. And then it went to another interview, the same lady, a more recent one. And Ringo Starr was there and she'd never met Ringo before. And the interviewer said, oh, you know, with that song, how much did you actually get paid? And she said £9. And then it went on to say, you know, who else have you worked with? And she'd worked with Sammy Davis Jr. and Bing Crosby and, you know, a few of the other big names. And the interviewer said, and how much did you get paid for those? She said, oh, I got £7 for that. And Ringo Starr was there. And as quick as you like, he goes, see, we overpaid you. I want £2 back. Love it, love it. All right, I'll take you back down to what I'm seeing. Whoops. Tell you, this one's going a lot quicker than it did yesterday. I must know what I'm doing. There we go. The only hard thing is when you do get single diamonds like this is finding out which is which side. I can see pencil on that side, but sometimes you can actually test it by bending it. And when the chooks is going off. La da da dee. Boom, boom, boom. I don't know if you can see it, but here one of the diamonds is broken off. But that doesn't matter because I know I've got that extra bit of latitude in the template that I'm using. Just finding some short ones, see if I can get away with using them, which is always good. You're right, Jim, but for me, working left to right is natural. And when I started off at the beginning of the stream, I get confabulated, ovulated or whatever it is. But now I'm into it, yeah, I can just flow that way. But honestly, now what was it? I've decided, as I said yesterday, I'm going to learn how to play the harp, second the darn things. And I'm sort of, you know, I like teaching myself a lot of things, and I've got this great book that is helping. And what I've heard just in conversation, people say, oh, the harp is so hard, you know, because your right hand has to do things and your left hand has to do things. But being ambidextrous, what I'm finding, it just comes naturally, and you just, this has got to do this, and it makes this does this. And then if this goes there, well, that goes there. So yeah, it's a fun journey. I'm most likely doing all the wrong things, making all the mistakes, but I'm enjoying the process. And I think in life, that's it. It's the just doing stuff. Woo! Don't like that. No, that's no good. Got a hole in it. We'll put that one in. There you go. That's all right because it's going to get cut there. And I can use this bit here if I can cut it off. Yeah, it was funny. I remember when I first came to Australia. I was, 9, I think. And they made this big thing, the fact that I was handed. It was quite a thing. And I remember I used to get the cane. Well, not, I didn't have the cane in those days. It was knuckle ruler. Ruler. Hang on, let me think. Yeah, you used to get the ruler over the knuckles or whatever. Because my writing was always messy. And they tried to force me to be right-handed. But me being me, no, I didn't do that. It's interesting, one of my sons was also left-handed and they forced him to be right-handed, and he has the most atrocious writing you've ever seen because they've, forced him to do something that didn't come natural to him, I guess. I tell you, the education's got a heck of a lot to answer for. I'm going to leave it at that because I could get on a hobby horse. I might lose. There we go. Oh, if you're new to the channel and you like it, please hit the subscribe button. And that looks red because I can see a split in it, so that's going. Yeah, the subscribe button and you'll know when I'm on. Okay. Come back down this side, I think. There's something about that elusive 100,000 subs. And you don't get anything for it, but just, oh, that's nice. Now, that is no good, so I'm going to have to cut that here. There we go. And as I've said before, I've got a TV show I've got to get around to doing, but I'm so enjoying doing this, I don't know. I don't think that belongs in there either. We might just have to knock this one out. I know, Trent, this is sacrilege with your chisels, but so sharp. I can't think of another way of doing it. There we go. Okay. concentration again, isn't it? Can't help myself. Whoops. I can see some messages pop up. I'll be there in a tick. Whoop. Got some beat boxes I've got to make too. That's something that's better get around to start doing again. There we go. I think, yeah, no, I think I'm all right with that. I've got a bit of a gap there, but I'm thinking when I put my emblem there, it's going to cover that up, so we should be okay. What have we got? Left to right, right to the, yep, that's right. And you're right, Louise, first is definitely the hardest. Sean, g'day, how are you? Welcome to the workshop, mate. The mayhem and the chaos. Oh. Well, the mayhem that is the chaos, I don't know. If I pull that into there. Yeah, I think that should be all right. What I didn't do on this one, which I did on the other one, was actually marked where I want that V to come to. So I think I'll bring that down to there, and we'll see. Oh, you mutt. Oh, is it going to be a big mutt or a little mutt? Ah, that's all right. Okay. Well, you can cope with that. All right, I'm going to have to cut some more strips up. Yuck. All right. Okay, I might do that. I'll put a up there. Where is a green? I've got a green triangle, just a single green triangle. Have I used them all up? Whoop. How much do I need? No, I think that one down here. I ask grow. There we go. Okay. Oh. School just told me to pick a hand and quit changing it every time I picked up a pencil. Yeah, you see, you're different, Brenda. Do something a bit different. They can't cope. Ask a question that's not in the syllabus and you're disruptive. That's the word, disruptive. I think I could have been classed as a disruptive influence. Although it's quite interesting because I just couldn't see the sense in half the rubbish they wanted to teach you. But it wasn't until I got into metalwork and lathe work and that all of a sudden, oh, hang on, trigonometry, yeah, I could use that. Oh, that's a good idea. So again, my point is, why didn't they give you some reasonable application in which you would use it rather than just a whole heap of numbers that meant absolutely nothing? I don't know. I'm close to a rant. I'm close, but I'm not going to. Okay, it's starting to look all right, I'm thinking. Just got this bit up here to do. This bit up here. And then we'll see what else happens. Okay, here's the one I wasn't happy with. But I think we've got enough there to do the rest of this. Oh. Boom, boom, boom. Did I hang the knife up? No. Where did I put the knife? I know where I put the paper, right in the glue, so I'll just dispense with that and get another bit of paper in a jiff. Okay. Now if I go, I'll go this way, I'm going to take a punt. Oh, goodness gracious me. I'll do it this way. See, that's what I started. Not very happy. Ah! Just, there you go, see, look at that. Just split that bit with my fingers. But we'll see how we go. Alright, that's rubbish, that's rubbish. Those ones I can use. This one here, I'll just Let's see if I can glue that up. A bit of sticky tape. And we'll see if we can glue it up. There you go. That was another interesting thing too, Brenda. Many moons ago, one of my first jobs was working in this place, and we used to use carbon paper. So every time you build a form out, you had to use carbon paper, and whatever I wrote, this little finger here would write it about 2 inches down the page, and I was always getting into trouble because my carbon paper copies were always messy. Well, I'm sorry. But where it did really come into its own was when I was a mechanic. He'd be trying to get a trunnion bearing off a truck or something, or other. He'd be lying on the ground and he'd be whack, 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 and then just change hands and keep on hitting it. Whereas all the right-handed guys, they'd be whack. Oh, got to have a rest, my arm's sore. Well, I could just swap hands. Excellent. So just out of interest, Brenda, which hand did you choose, right or left? Fair enough too, Trevor. And you can do things as well. All right, let's get back into this. On the downhill run. And I've cut that one the wrong side. But it'll be okay. Come up here. There you go. As I said yesterday, this portion up here isn't so important because it's going to get covered up by reinforcement on the neck. So I can have something that's not quite right and still get away with it okay. Whoop! That broke in too. I'll do one more, and I reckon... Oh no, I'll do one more after this. Only because I can. Okay. That's got that out of the way. Now we can do these. Oh dear. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. I love when I give myself these heart attacks because not knowing how I'm going to do it, because it really makes me push the envelope somewhat to come up with the right answer. I think that should do there. Okay. What have we got? Boom, boom. Now that can go on another one. I said these ones down here, it doesn't matter quite so much because you're not going to see them. Oh, hang on. No, you will see them. So it does matter. Okay. I retract that previous statement. This doesn't have a block on this side. So I've got to look at something, and if it wasn't quite right, I've got to fix it because you will see it. I'll tell you what, if you stuck with me thus far, I am impressed. And I do thank you for your patience. That one there is right on a staple, so it's a bit hard to get. Okay, so this one here, I'll just have to move that in a bit. That was my blue because I was thinking you don't see it, but you see it. And just to put some perspective on this, I also like going around the bush cutting up timber with a chainsaw, so there's two sides to me. I enjoy this and I enjoy doing other stuff as well. But you've got to be in the mood for this, and as I said earlier on in the stream, I wasn't looking forward to this because, it's going to take so much time. The stuff you got to do, and this bit here I'm cutting in on, it actually gets cut away, so that's not too much of a drama. That'll go too, but I'll put a bit in there anyway. Just so I can say it's all done. All right, well that seems to have covered that pretty well. Now look at that, I rushed that and I put it in the wrong spot. It's got to go that way. All right, have I got any left? Might put one more strip down here just to make sure that I've got that covered. And then there we go. Use the last of the I'll put that get down here. That there. All right. So Vince, I've covered the entire pattern, so I know that it's good to go. All right. Got a bit of sticky tape on it there. That's going to get fixed up, so that's all right. I think that's looking pretty good. Yeah, I'm like that. Well, let's go. I'm like that, Brenda. It's funny, I write with my left hand, but I throw darts more accurately with my right hand. I can play tennis with either hand. Golf, I'm right-handed. Playing the guitar, when I started to try and learn, emphasise try, and learn to play the guitar, I didn't know because it just felt I could play that or I could play that. It really didn't. And in one way it was good when I was left-handed, because then I could mirror exactly what the music teacher was doing, like that. But then when it came to other things, it was too complicated to have a left-handed guitar. So Paul McCartney did it, didn't he? There you go. All right, so that's rock and roll time. So what we'll do is we'll do what we did before. I'll get a bit of paper. I'll lay it over there, that should do. Cut this off first. This is honestly, it's a great way to lay out stuff. Especially big things, you try and do it just on a loose board or something. Oh, it can be a nightmare. Okay, so this one here belongs in there, and that one belongs down there. And get the glue pot. A bit more water in there, he's bubbling away merrily. I actually put radiator inhibitor in my glue pot, prevents rust and scale. Okay. Just liberally paint this on. Now this is the upside, this is the side that you're going to see when it's finished. And I'm really not concerned about putting glue on it because this stuff dries nice and hard. It fills the little gaps that might be between the veneer and gives me a side to work with. I'll lay that over the top. Rip off a lot of the paper that I don't need. All right, now I'll go and put this in the press. Actually, I might. I'll take it down and put it, and then I'll bring the other one back up. It should be by now. This is the one I did at the beginning of the stream. And now I can just peel. Well, I'm hoping I can just peel this off. If it comes off, if not, I'll leave it for a bit longer. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. The theory is that the hide glue is stronger than the contact. So the pieces should, emphasise should, the paper and the contact just peels away from the back. And so far, that theory is being proved right. Whoop. Oh no, that's all right because it's going to have... There we have it. Okay, so that's the back side that is going to be glued down. That's the front side, and once that's glued down, I just wet that with water and it would peel off. And we will have what we're looking for. What am I looking for? There you go. So that then get glued onto a thin bit of ply, and there it is, all done, which shall be done in the next couple of days. Oh, what did that take? That took about the same amount of time as it did the other day. Oh, we got, g'day Cam, how are you, mate? Oh, what have we got? That's how Phil Mather learned to play golf. He stood opposite his dad, copied him. He's so naturally right-handed. Yeah. What was it? Well, I mean, what I do here, really, if you copy what I do and you're right-handed, you just got to do what I do and it's going to be okay, I suppose. All right, so I'm quite excited about this. I've got to wait until the other one's dry, and then what I'll do is line them up and see if I can get patterns as symmetrical as I can on both sides. Then glue them down and see what the next steps are. But that's it. Yeah, that was an hour and 43 minutes was the stream yesterday, an hour and 43 today. I did a few more steps than I didn't do yesterday. But no, we're getting there. So it's all good. So once again, thanks everyone for watching. I'm sorry it was boring, but it had to be done. And having you out there in YouTube land made it far less boring for me because I could talk. What I do want to do, which I most likely do off camera, is I want to make a transparent mould like this so I can actually place it over the veneers and see what's happening, which is basically what I've done when I lay, when I lay the brass parts over. I've got perspex or plexiglass or what's that, polycarbonate clear templates that I can put over and then just see what the best place is. So I'll cut that out maybe this afternoon or tomorrow. In the next couple of days, I've got to put the neck on, got to drill the hole for the dowel on three ups, which I shall do this afternoon. And we might even start putting together the Thunderbolt one, the one I did all that fractal burning on. So until then, this is Steve pulling the shed door down, saying thanks everyone for joining in. It has been an absolute pleasure to have you in the workshop. I look forward to your company very, very soon. But remember to keep it sharp. But more importantly, keep it safe, look after yourself, be kind to each other. And I look forward to having your company at the workbench in the workshop again very, very soon. If you like what you see, please hit the subscribe and the bell. You'll know when I'm streaming or when I put a new video up. And that's about it. So till we meet again, catch you all later. God bless. Bye for now.